Welcome to the Design Better podcast. I'm Aaron Walter.
And I'm Eli Woolery. Over the past 3 seasons of the Design Better podcast, we've had the opportunity to talk to really amazing design leaders on the forefront of digital transformation and product design. Rewinding back to the very beginning of the podcast, one of my favorite guests was Irene Au. She's had an amazing career. She designed the very first commercial web browser at Netscape, went on to be a design leader at Yahoo and Google, and is now a design partner at Coastal Ventures.
We've chatted with Abigail Hart-Gray from Google about her strategies about how to build partnerships with engineers by sharing goals. We also talked to Benjamin Evans from Airbnb about the role of diversity and inclusion and how we can always ask ourselves, who is not being included in our conversation here?
Another great interview we had, actually 2 interviews, was with Jake Knapp, who's the co-author of Sprint and Make Time. Jake is a phenomenal guest who really helped us dive into the sprint process and how he thinks about it and how he teaches it. And in Jake's newer book, Make Time, how we can all think about prioritizing the things that are really important in our lives, not just work, but family and other pursuits, and make time for things that are meaningful.
We also talked to Julie Zhu, Vice President of Product Design at Facebook and author of the best-selling book, The Making of a Manager. She shared some vulnerable stories about the challenges she's faced learning to be a manager, and she shared some practical tactics that we can use in our own practice as managers.
Over the course of doing this podcast, we've learned that every leader has a unique perspective to share that can help you and your team level up your design practice and empower your team to do the best work of their careers and make a significant impact on your business's bottom line.
We've talked about design sprints, design ops, design systems, design leadership, and management, and the collaborative workflow that happens between designers and developers. This season, we're going deeper and talking to folks from beyond the design world about the things that make a great organization thrive and help people work better together. This season, you're going to hear from Marty Cagan at Silicon Valley Product Group, someone who has helped countless companies and product organizations find their way. Marty is probably the foremost authority on product management in the world.
Stephen Deasy, who's the head of cloud engineering at Atlassian, was another guest that we really loved speaking with to get an engineer leader's perspective. He has a saying that designers are about possibilities and engineers are about probabilities. And to learn more about that, you'll just have to dive into his episode when it comes out.
We had a fantastic conversation with Joanna Peña-Bickley, who leads the Internet of Things team at Amazon. Maybe you've heard of the Amazon Echo before. Well, that's Joanna's territory. She and her team are doing fascinating work, but what we found even more fascinating in this conversation was her career path and the poignant observations she had about diversity and inclusion with teams. And we spoke with Steve Rader, the head of collaboration and innovation at NASA. Steve has managed multi-billion-dollar budgets and built collaborative teams taking on the biggest challenges of going to space. We spoke with Steve because we want to learn what other industries might know about collaboration that we could take on board for our own practice. And these are just a few of the people we talked to.
If you're new to the show, you can revisit some of our past episodes anytime. We have a great backlog of guests that share insights that are really evergreen advice. And for anyone listening now, be sure to hit the subscribe button whenever you listen to podcasts to get new episodes on the Design Better podcast each and every week.